All right, let's talk about classy habits. You know, the ones we're all secretly, or not so secretly, proud of, because they make us feel like we have our lives together, like we're that woman. But here's the thing. Some of these habits, these oh-so-elegant little rituals we've clung to, are actually holding us back. Yeah, I said it. And I'm speaking from experience, because I've been guilty of all 8 of these at some point. So, grab a coffee, or a tea, or whatever you sip when you're feeling like your classiest self, and let's dive in. Oh, and no judgment here. We're in this together, okay? Number 1. Prioritizing appearances over comfort. Let's have a moment of silence for the hours I've spent hobbling in heels that made my feet feel like they were in a medieval torture device. I mean, yes, stilettos look amazing, but do they really need to be part of my grocery store run? Probably not. And don't get me started on shapewear so tight you need a NASA-level strategy to go to the bathroom. I used to think that if I didn't look polished 24/7, I was somehow failing at life. Like I'd be at brunch with my friends, sucking in my stomach so hard I couldn't even enjoy the avocado toast. Meanwhile, my friends are all laughing and living their best lives in flowy sundresses and sneakers. It hit me one day. Why am I making myself miserable just to look happy? Here's the truth. Confidence is the best accessory, and it looks way better than that pinched expression you get from wearing pants 2 sizes too small. I've since fully embraced the cute and comfy aesthetic. Because classy doesn't have to mean suffering. It can mean finding the perfect pair of flats that make you feel like a boss while still being able to wiggle your toes. Before we continue, welcome to Manners Matters. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more tips on refined living, class, and elegance. Join our community and elevate your lifestyle. Number 2. Over-apologizing for everything. Let's talk about the sorry reflex. You know, that automatic, knee-jerk apology for things that don't even need an apology. Like when you ask a perfectly reasonable question at work and feel the need to preface it with, sorry, but it's almost like we've been programmed to think that apologizing for everything makes us polite, when in reality it can make us seem uncertain or even undervalue what we're saying. The thing is, over-apologizing doesn't actually make you more likable. If anything, it teaches people to overlook your contributions or assume you're in the wrong, even when you're not. Instead of apologizing when it's unnecessary, try rephrasing. Replace sorry with thank you. Like, thank you for your patience instead of, sorry I'm late. Or simply say nothing at all. Not every small moment requires an apology. Breaking the sorry reflex takes practice. But once you start catching yourself, you realize how much space you've been giving away for no reason. Save your apologies for when they're truly needed, and you'll notice how much more confident and classy you feel. Number 3. Saying yes to everything. Oh, this one was a hard pill to swallow. Somewhere along the way, I got it in my head that being classy meant being agreeable. Like, if I just said yes to everything, people would think, wow, she's so helpful and dependable. But really, all they thought was, she'll handle it so I don't have to. Let's be real. Saying yes to everything might seem like the polite, classy thing to do, but it's also a fast track to burnout. Think about it. Agreeing to plan the office party, babysit your neighbor's kids, bake cookies for the school fundraiser, and squeeze in extra work on a project sounds noble at first, but by the time Thursday rolls around, you're one spilled coffee away from a full-on mental breakdown. Saying yes all the time doesn't make you more dependable. It just teaches people that you'll always pick up the slack. And while it feels good to be helpful, constantly prioritizing other people's needs over your own leaves little room for, well, you. Instead, consider a simple, polite, I can't take that on right now, but thank you for thinking of me. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but setting boundaries is one of the most empowering and, yes, classy things you can do. Trust me, the world won't collapse because you said no. Number 4. Being a perfectionist. This one feels classy, doesn't it? Like, oh, I just have such high standards for myself. But perfectionism is sneaky. It sounds like a strength, but it's really just procrastination in a fancier outfit. Case in point. I once spent half a day rearranging the pillows on my couch because I wanted the living room to look just right before guests came over. I fluffed, rotated, swapped colors. You name it. When they arrived, no one even sat on the couch. They spent the whole evening at the dining table. All that effort for pillows no one even noticed. Perfectionism is exhausting. And the worst part? It's never attainable. There's always something else to fix, tweak, or improve. At some point, you have to say, good enough is good enough, and move on with your life. Progress over perfection, my friends. Number 5. Overplanning every moment. Okay, so if you've ever had lists for your lists, or a color-coded calendar, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Overplanning feels productive. It gives you that little rush of control, like, Look at me, I'm so organized, I've scheduled my entire week down to the minute. But the truth? Half the time, the plan falls apart by Tuesday because life didn't get the memo. My classic. Perfect itinerary for a vacation. I had everything planned to the minute. Breakfast at 8:15, museum at 10, scenic walk at 11:30, and so on. But then, the flight got delayed. The hotel check-in line took forever. And by the time we got to the first activity, I was so stressed about being off schedule that I couldn't even enjoy it. Meanwhile, everyone else just wanted to grab a drink and chill by the pool. Here's the thing. Plans are great until they start owning you. It's okay to have structure, but leave room for a little chaos. Because the best moments in life usually don't come with a sticky note reminder. And honestly, the calendar will survive if you skip the 3 p.m. organized sock drawer block. Number 6. Comparing yourself to others. Oh, the comparison trap. It's so sneaky. You're just scrolling Instagram, minding your business, and then bam, you see someone who's doing it all. She's got the perfect home, the perfect career, the perfect blowout. Meanwhile, you're over here Googling how to fold a fitted sheet for the 3rd time this week. Let me just say this. Comparison is the thief of joy. And also, most of what you're seeing online isn't even real. I had a friend once post a picture of her perfect morning routine with candles, journaling, and a green smoothie. What she didn't show was the mountain of laundry just outside the frame, or the fact that the smoothie tasted like dirt. Your life doesn't have to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. Focus on your own lane, because that's where the magic happens. Number 7. Always putting others first. Look, I love being generous and caring. It's a core part of who I am. But there's a fine line between being kind and being a doormat. For years, I thought being classy meant self-sacrifice. If someone needed me, I'd drop everything, no matter how much it inconvenienced me. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you definitely can't be your best self if you're burnt out and resentful. So now I make it a point to prioritize self-care, whether it's taking a bath, going for a walk, or just sitting in silence for 5 minutes. Those moments matter. And guess what? The world doesn't fall apart when you put yourself first every now and then. Number 8. Trying to keep it together all the time. Last but not least, let's talk about this idea that classy women are supposed to be calm, collected, and perfectly composed at all times. Who made that rule? Because I'd like a word. I used to think showing emotion was a weakness. Like if I cried or got frustrated, people would think less of me. So I bottled everything up until it all came pouring out in the form of an ugly cry during a commercial about dogs. Here's what I've learned. Vulnerability is powerful. Letting yourself feel things, whether it's joy, sadness, or frustration, makes you more relatable, not less. And honestly, it's a lot healthier than pretending everything's fine when it's not. So go ahead and have your messy moments. They're part of being human. So which of these habits do you think is holding you back the most? Or is there one I didn't mention that you've noticed in your own life? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. If this video gave you a fresh perspective, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe so you never miss out on our latest insights. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And remember, stay classy, manners matters.